everyone. I'm Gokul, Senior Data Scientist at Experion Technologies. Today, one of the most common asks that we get is from the AI space is on the conversational AI, agentic AI, etc. Right? So we will be discussing about the myth and reality of what exactly conversational AI is doing in 2026 actually right now. So I have with me Mr. Banarji here, who is the Director of AI here at Experion, to discuss more on this topic. So Banarji, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I have certain set of questions with me, so we can go through those. Yeah. So the first question, so when people hear generally about conversational agent or conversational system, right? So they have a natural tendency to think that of as a chatbot, right? But what exactly does this mean? A conversational agent mean in 2026?
Traditionally, the term chatbot existed, or the thing chatbot existed like 20 years back, since 20 years back. But I think a couple of years back, that's when it started becoming more intelligent. So a traditional chatbot, maybe 5 years or 10 years back, it used to answer certain set of questions like FAQs. If you ask anything outside the context, what it would do? It would take you to some other web page or a predeterministic workflow was executed, right? But today, the chatbots are becoming more intelligent. So that's where the typical difference lies. With the advent of Gen AI, what happened is the chatbot can dynamically trigger workflows now based on the user intent, the user questions, etc. So it tries to understand the user intent, it tries to take it forward, go hit databases, go hit documents, bring out the data from that, analyze the data, and give you back a proper response.
Right.
Even if it is outside its knowledge base, it grounds itself to the context.
Right.
And we have a lot of voice bots as well being adopted these days, which looks like human. It's totally different from the IVR that used to exist previously, right? The moment you get an IVR call, you can understand that's a bot that's calling you. But today you have human-like voices that talks to you, but which is really AI.
Yeah, right.
So that's where the difference lies in. It's becoming more human-like. It is becoming more intelligent, like the humans. It will react like the humans do when you have a typical conversation with a human. It will adapt to the conversation. It grounds itself to the context. So I think that is the core difference that you can spot between a typical chatbot that used to exist a couple of years back and the conversational agents that we see today.
Following up to that previous question, right? So what role do LLMs play in conversational agents, making conversational agents feel more natural, and where do they still fall short? So what is your take on this?
So LLMs are the core of conversational agents, right? So these days we see a lot of adoption. When people say AI, almost like 90-95% it is LLM,
right?
Generative AI, VLMs,
right,
or SLMs, right? So we have typically multiple keywords for that, but things means the same.
Correct.
So it's all generative AI. So why LLMs are at the core of conversational agents is because of its core principle or core strength that it generates. So it can generate content based on the user's request or what user needs, right? So LLMs are at the core of this. So when a question is asked to a conversational agent, as you said earlier, the LLM's primary role is to understand what exactly is the need of this user.
Right.
And it then, when it comes to agentic, obviously agentic is a keyword these days. Everyone wants agentic systems. So agentic brings the magic of automation into it.
Right.
So LLMs, when it combined with agentic architecture, it actually creates a beautiful plan around the need of this user. It breaks the need into multiple steps, then plan to execute that.
Right.
And when it executes, the LLM can rephrase this question, correct mistakes in this question, segregate keywords from that question, then identify what sources to be sought for the data to come in. It can then, for example, if it is a SQL query that needs to be executed, it's a structured database where the data lies in. So the typical job of an LLM is to frame that SQL query.
Right.
It need not understand the entire data. It just need to understand the schema of the data, like what all tables are there, what all columns are there. Then it would generate that SQL query, and it just needs a tool to go and execute the SQL query.
Correct.
And then it brings back the data. Once the data comes back, it can actually bring back the question into this context, look at this data, and frame a response that is much relevant to the user's question. So this is where LLM plays a very key role to generate things. So generating SQL query is one of that generative steps. Generating the plan is one of that key generative step. Generating the final response based on the context, it's again a key generative strength, right? That's where the LLM comes into the picture.
Yeah.
And you had one last portion as well, like where does it fall short? Obviously, one thing that everyone should understand is conversational agents, or for that sake, generative AI, or for that sake, any AI, is not a complete replacement to the human ability.
Correct.
It is actually providing an add-on. It's providing an automation help, enablement to the human to do things better.
Right.
So even still, a lot of responses that even though we do a lot of grounding for the LLMs, for the generative AI or the agentic architecture, we create a lot of boundaries for it to act on. Still, you have chances that it can hallucinate. It can bring a response which you never expected it to do, or it can actually bring a wrong answer as well. It can generate a wrong SQL query and bring a wrong answer, but which it would think is right. So in those cases, I think especially in critical jobs, critical tasks, critical decision making, that's where we still need human validation to happen. So that's where we usually hear this word human in loop.
Right.
So so I think that is where LLMs fall short. It needs a lot of improvement. There is a lot of room for improvement for LLMs to still go that full agentic route. Right.
That is rightly pointed, Banarji. So in the projects that we have done, right, so we had to factor in for the LLM hallucinations and the errors at some point of time, right? So what, in the next couple of years, right, so what breakthroughs do you think will make this conversational AI better?
So hallucinations, error rate, always we need to account for that. So that's why we always say it's not perfect enough to for a fully agentic system, right?
Correct.
When you say fully agentic, it needs to do everything automatically on its own, without human in the loop. We fortunately or unfortunately, we are not there.
Right.
So what breakthroughs can help it out? So it's a continuum. Actually, it's a continuum. We are on a journey towards that. At some point in time, we hope the technology will reach there of a fully autonomous system. So in this journey, some of the breakthroughs that have happened in the past will repeat. As one is the reasoning capability of the model. So we have heard this a lot, right?
Right.
The reasoning, it's a reasoning model. It can take multiple types of inputs. So I think that is one core capability that will keep on improving. With more training, with more and more models getting released in the future, the reasoning capability is one thing that will keep improving. We'll have to tie something together with it, which is the processing capability as well.
Correct.
So the better the processing capability, better the GPUs become, but the better optimized it becomes. We can deliver a lot of better training to the models, and it'll become more thinking models. We will get more thinking models out of that. So reasoning is one core capability that determines how the model can interpret what you are asking it to do, and then plan, create a super plan around that, which is foolproof, which covers everything you need. And another important thing is to execute this plan properly.
Right.
So it should not miss out, right?
Right.
When you have a plan, it should actually execute according to the plan. So it should not miss out there. So I think when we talk about the plan execution, there comes the orchestration. So in an agentic system, especially in conversational agents, when a user puts in a request, we discussed this earlier, like there is a plan created for that.
Correct.
So to create a foolproof perfect plan, the model needs a reasoning capability. So once we get better reasoning models, that's going to be better.
Right.
Now the second piece is how this gets executed. So you need tool calling capability. You need an orchestrator, a multi-agentic orchestrator that would orchestrate this plan in a foolproof manner, in a well-oiled manner, right? So the agentic system also would keep improving on these forefronts. So once it keep improving, we would get better systems, better autonomy around the agentic conversations that we will be having. Another thing would be the voice AI capability. Obviously, some of the platforms that we tested in some of our projects are like really superb, right?
Correct.
It's very human-like.
Right.
But there are rooms for improvement.
Still rooms for improvement, yes.
Including more languages.
Correct.
Bringing on more. It's human-like, but still it has to improve in terms of the way it speaks, the modulations that it can apply. So, and obviously the automations around it. So I think one is the reasoning, second is the orchestration, third is the voice capability, and fourth one would be the type of integrations that it can perform. So the more and more integrations that these platforms can bring on with enterprise tools. So obviously one of the major breakthroughs were MCP, right? So the way in which the AI agentic system interacts with other enterprise system via MCP, that's a very good breakthrough that has come in.
Correct.
So we would see more of such things, and a combination of these would actually create better systems that would hallucinate lesser,
Right.
create lesser errors, give a better customer experience, a user experience around it.